Okay. All right, so that was weird. Okay, let's see. Yeah. So, I am editing the other one so that people know that, okay. Oops. All right. Okay, so here we are again. I am hoping we're okay now. We actually lost. Okay, so yeah, Ezra and I are like trying to figure out what happened. But anyway, so sorry for that hiccup. The problem is that our internet just completely went down, and it reconnected, but I didn't realize that it does that. So hopefully people have been able to come back and find me, because I actually ended up renaming that one. So anyways, yeah. Let me see what the chat says. Oh, hey, Michelle. Okay, sorry about that hiccup. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get this started again. And again, it's Christy and Michael Myers chilling. And we are going to work on this project. And boy, the light isn't so good here for some reason. Let me turn it up a little bit. Is that a little bit better? I don't know. So, boy, that really threw me off, guys. I'm so sorry. So, let's see. I've got the chat right here, too. Okay. All right. So, okay, so we're going to be working on this layout. This is a layout that is something that I created last year for the Patreon. And this year I have actually recreated it with more cohesive colors and a little bit different layout and stuff. Well, not such a different layout, but at any rate, it is different in that I added the tabs right here, and these were separate, and so I like these, the way these look. They're really kind of cute, and it was a lot easier to recreate this project with this is what I get for adding glue. Oh God. For putting these in after gluing things down. They really are supposed to come out, but I'm going to leave them for now. All of these are supposed to come out. Then we've got this little flip up thing where we can add some journaling lines, and you could perhaps use the free journal cards that I gave you guys on Patreon. This has little itty bitty tickets for a spooky hayride, scary corn maze, or a haunted house. Totally love this. Ezra, can you still hear me? Am I still here? All right. Oh, Izzy, would you like me to move him? Okay, Michael, you can go over there. Yes. Okay, so anyway, then it comes with some journal cards, and I freestyled a little bit here. So you're going to be able to watch me put this together, and it's one of my favorites. And now that I've updated it, it's even more of a favorite. So this kind of page, just so you guys know, it could be cut in half and added to, like, say, a 3-ring binder book. Whoops, sit down. This is my September one, and so you can cut it apart like that and then just put them in as just singular pages. Or I have also done this where I've just folded these, and you could create like a piano hinge type thing. And you know, there's a few ways to do that. This, which has gotten a little bit messed up on my shelf, I'm going to fix it, is my bow for my October book. All right, so I don't really have a book for every month, but I do have some fall books. And since I have them, I figured, you know, I can put these pages in. And this is not really a good thing to put on the front, especially if you're going to put your book on the shelf. But I'm the kind of person that does things over and over and expects different results. So let me get us in focus. All right, so this is my October book, and I'll show you. I started it in 2024, and so this is a 2024 calendar. I'm not really sure why I didn't do more in it, but this is a book, a piece of artwork that I learned from Concy Sindet at one of our retreats. This is just a haunted house page, and these are some pages that I learned from Tamar. And I can't remember her blog, but Tamar Perry. And specifically these kind of things. All these cool layers, and I use this actually a lot, this technique a lot, and I just really love it. This thing is just like a little envelope thing, and it has a bunch of ephemera inside from hang on one second. It has a bunch of ephemera inside from the Hallowkitties set. Hang on a second, my dog is distracting me. All right. So, anyway, this is my October, and I'm sorry, I'm so frazzled now. I lost my concentration. But anyway, so yeah, a few of these things I learned. These are really cool techniques. If you guys are interested in any of them, I can teach you guys. But there's a lot of magnet closures and stuff. And, you know, I don't really want to open everything up. These are little pieces of ephemera from the mid-century Ooky, and I'm going to be giving you guys some of those, I believe, this month. So yeah, Tamara is amazing. I love her. She's just such a sweetheart. And you know, just some ephemera that I picked up here and there. And what did I do here? Yeah, I guess I need to pay attention to my October this year and do some repairs on it. So I will probably put these in here, except I won't be able to really do, because this is on a reverse piano hinge, or yeah, like a hinge thing, not piano hinge, but a hinge. And so I'm going to have to put this into like a signature, make it part of a signature, and then just put it in with elastic. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. But I want to start doing that with all the things I'm making, especially when I have these things, because these are really cool. They're too cool not to put in my book. So let me refocus here. And those of you who have this already, I'm going to drop the new files in, and they're made pretty much the same way, or you can come back to this video. So those in my Patreon Dragonfly, that's who got this last year. I'm going to drop this into your guys' folder this week. So anyway, let's set that aside. And so I've got most of my pieces done here, and except for these. And so I'm going to cut these out. And basically it's the same layout. But I laid out the actual files with the pieces, the templates in it, because I felt like it would be easier to figure out, you know, what you're working with. So I didn't make any new instructions. This is the instructions. So I'm going to just go with that. And if you want, you can probably roughly follow the old directions, or like I said, just come back to this one. And so today we're going to actually build this, and then later we'll embellish it, embellish it with, you know, ribbons and more things and stuff like that. Since it's only 2 pages, it might be a little more difficult to, you know, stretch out the embellishment for you know, for 2 hours, but maybe we'll do something with mid-century Ooky as well. And if you would like to get that free file, you can go join my Patreon, and you can join the free, because I give at least one freebie per month that I call goodie alerts, and you are, anybody who's free actually, or on any tier, will get this for free. Not this one, but the mid-century Ooky ones. And so we'll play around with those later. But for now, I've got all of these, and I'm going to grab my autumn paper. So what you're going to need with this is you're going to need some kind of paper for the background. And this, I was going to use craft paper. This is slightly different from craft paper, and I think I don't have any more of this. So I'm going to have to look and see what might work okay, just by laying these all out and looking at, how this looks. So I kind of don't really love that. I could do it on an off-white. That looks kind of okay. Let's see. I also have craft, but we chose this because it was a little more reddish, you know, so that it brought in like the burgundy color. But I think I might go ahead and go with this one and just see how it looks. I think it's going to look good on pretty much anything, but it might not. But I think it's, you know, you've already seen this and you know it looks pretty great. So first thing I need to do with this is cut this down to 8.5 by 11. And that's what I'm going to do right now. I am using a blade for this, as well as a ruler that has cork on the back, and that's so it doesn't slip. All right, if you want to know what items I use regularly, you can go to my storefront on Amazon, and that is amazon.com/ I never can say this, /shop / Christy Stone. So I've had that for a long time, so you're going to see a lot of things in it. Oh, that was weird. That don't have to do with junk journaling, but my latest ones, they all do. The curation you're going to be looking for is I can't remember what it's called, but anyways, there's a curation. What a curation is it's a bunch of different idea lists. So sometimes I have the an idea list for a specific project that I do, and I do have idea lists in there for, you know, just the regular stuff that I use regularly. And do check the comments for those, because sometimes I do say, you know, that this, you know, when you can get something for cheaper somewhere else. All right. Hey, Becky. I know. I won't tell. I know. I love to watch live streams also. And, you know, they're just really fun. Okay, so now I've got this, and I think I'd like to mark with pencil just where the center is. And so I don't provide a color for the background, so you'll just have to, you know, choose something out of what you've got. But, you know, brown, off-white, whatever, you know, is going to be fine. If you have like a cool orange that would match, that would also be fine. Okay, so I have those two little dots there, right? I don't want to make a lot of marks. And so, are we light enough, you guys? Because it seems like we're not. Yeah. It seems like I don't have enough light. Guys, let me know if it feels too dark. To me, it feels a little bit too dark. Okay, so then we're going to lay this out. This is going to be a pocket. So I know it's not your responsibility, but if you see me handling this, hi Amy, feel free to let me know that this is supposed to be a pocket. Okay. All right, thanks, Ez. And so this is how the layout goes. And we're going to work on the first side first, so let's set that aside. And the way all the files are is that you're going to have 2 pages of these shapes and these things. 2 pages of these pieces, I should say. and they're all for this, and then the last 2 pages are for that side. Okay, so what I need over here right now are these pieces. Let's see, are those the same? And you might see that some of my color is like, it looks a little bit ashy. I don't know where that other orange piece went. Here it is. And that's because I printed this on a laser printer, which isn't a bad thing, but sometimes the color, you know, will kind of wear off. So anywhere where you see that, that's not part of, except for like these distress things, only these distresses and on here and on the backgrounds are actually here. These ones are all just simply because the more I handle it, the more the ink comes off. So I'm just kind of pulling together what I need for here on this side and what I need. Okay, this one's going to go on that side. No. Yeah, I'm excited too. Too, Amy. I'm pretty sure I know what it's going to be, and it's not going to take much, but I wanted to redesign this one, and so all right, so these guys go over here, this goes here, and these go over here. Doing a lot of sorting here. Okay, so one of the differences in the old project versus the new is that I have these. So you're going to see them like that. They'll all look like little bows. And all you do is you fold those in half, and then you can glue them or staple them or whatever. Yeah, and actually this project is, this is what it looks like, Becky. This project is in the Etsy shop. The listing isn't actually done, but you can buy it if you want to. I think it's like $3.98 or something, and then if you use the October 25 coupon code, you'll get it for, I think, less than $3. So anyway, so the first thing I want to do is go ahead and begin to glue down some of these pieces. Now I'm not measuring, I'm not making them perfectly in the center or anything like that. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, that's okay, Becky. It's cheaper if you, do you mean in the Patreon? Because it's cheaper if you just buy it. All the dragonflies are going to get this because that's who got this last time. And so, you know, usually when I do an upgrade, I will give the people that received it last time or that already own it the new files. And so if you are a dragonfly, you will get this for free, and you'll find it in your folder. Okay, so this is going to look a little bit different. So that one just gets glued down, all right? But this one here is actually going to be a pocket. And so I'm going to glue it off center like that. And so, and I want to make it open. And I'm mostly saying, you guys know that this is going to be a pocket, but I tend to glue my pockets down all the way, so you can't put anything in it, and that's really annoying. Okay, so on this part right here, This is the focal point piece. And I'm going to just center that. I should have been doing this, but I'll start right now. I did do it on the other one, but what you gonna do when you forget stuff, right? So with this particular piece, you're going to not glue the whole thing down. You're going to glue it kind of, you know, from here, you know, to about here, leaving this part open a little bit. And so that is going to be from here to about there. And it's not necessarily going to be a pocket, but you want to leave that top part. It's just easier to fit your journal cards in once, like if those are, you know, and then you won't glue them down like I did. So each of these is a little bit different color. The writing on it is from the story The Raven, because even down to the details, you know. So I'm going to just ink the edges real quick on this, and then you know, these ones don't necessarily have to be any specific color. You can just do what you think looks good. And I'm going to pick the color that is most similar to this. And I am going to just staple these on, because I'm like that. The less I can use glue, the better. And I sort of like this little teeny stapler. It's a Tim Holtz version, but you can, I think you can get it exactly like this, that, you know, maybe a little bit cheaper. I'm just not really sure. So let me take this one. Ink the edges. And this is a pretty quick little project. So it might be that I can put it together and do the embellishing and then spend my next live stream doing something a little bit different, but let's see how it goes. All right. So here we go. And we've got this side almost all the way done. The last thing we have is this. And I'm not going to add any journal papers to it. Well, maybe I should. I think I've got plenty of time. Let's see if I have got some. I wonder if I have some of that. Some of these in here. And I'm not sure I have them actually separate. So instead of looking for stuff, I'm just going to keep moving. And so for this is the layered, like tablet sort of thing. It might be a little easier just to add photos. So say that you take your kids out, you know, trick-or-treating or trunk-or-treating, whatever you do, and you take a few pictures and you make them small, and then you add them to these pages right in here, and that would be super cute. I do not have kids that trick-or-treat. I mean, unless Ezra has not told me something. And but I do have some old pictures, I think, of me and my brother, you know, dressed up for Halloween. So maybe I might do that. you know, maybe I might see if I can dig those out and find them. All right, so for this, I am going to staple these down. And then I'm going to glue this whole thing. Well, wait a minute. Let me do this first, actually. Let me take a piece of this paper. I only want it to, oops, come over about that much. And so I can put this on here like this to kind of pull the background in. Cut that. That's funny. Yeah. I mean, trick-or-treating for me when I was a kid was so fun. It was one of the funnest nights of the year, right? And it's just really changed a lot. So I don't know if anybody trick-or-treats anymore, do they? Or does everybody go like to the local church or the local mall or something like that? I don't know. That's kind of what was happening when my kids were young. There was some of that stuff going on. That's actually something I should have done before, was to ink the page behind, but I can always, you know, I do a lot of what I do on the fly, so I figure it out, you know. Gotcha. Well, I would assume that there are people, you know, that live in neighborhoods that everybody knows each other, and, you know, and is comfortable letting their kids trick-or-treat in there. All right, so I think what I'm gonna do is just sort of go over the edges a little bit. I can catch some of the edges of these things a little. I mean, sometimes this comes out looking a little messy, but you can choose to do this or not do it, you know. But I'm going to go ahead, see if I can even this out a little bit. It's looking okay. If this isn't your cup of tea, no problem. You can make it look, you can not, you know, definitely not ink any of the edges and just have like a pristine design. It looks good either way. For me, for some reason, things just look unfinished if I don't ink them. And also, because I make plenty of mistakes, the inking is one way that I can make some corrections. But, you know, I know this look isn't probably for everybody, but I do like it. Yeah, I do too. I do too, Becky. Becky says, I fly by the seat of my pants often because I change my mind on my new vision, and that is absolutely the way that I do it. But, you know, if I'm teaching, you know, I have to be a little more careful about that so that, you know, people don't get confused. All right, so there's that. Now, Did I do all these? I did do all these. Okay, so now I'm going to put together this side here. And I'm going to remember, because you guys are going to remind me not to glue all of these, all of the back down, but just here, here, and here is where I'm going to apply the glue. But don't let me forget, guys. All right. Do you guys have a favorite trick-or-treating story from when you were a kid? Or, you know, whatever you did? Because I realized that some of you guys did not grow up in the 70s like I did. '70s was a good time for trick-or-treating. Nobody ever talked about, like, you know, razor blades and apples and all that kind of stuff, you know, that came up more like in the 80s. I don't know if that was like part of the whole satanic panic thing in the 80s. But we didn't really know about things like that. We didn't really think about who was going to poison us or whatever. And I guess that's kind of naive. Oh, yay. Yeah, grew up in the 70s. Good time to grow up. It was fun. But yeah. Let's see. Put this here. Put this. You might notice that I'm inking some things and not others. That's not intentional. So you can see like little scratches and stuff. And that's just where it's not part of the design. It won't come out on yours. That's just because I'm handling these a lot. And if I happen to drag scissors or something over that, you know, it's going to take the ink off. Okay, so this is how it's supposed to look. So there's that, and let's put our little header here. And this is a really fun font. If you guys want it, I'm not getting any kickback for this at all, but it's called Little Witches, and I got it a long time ago, probably from Creative Fabrica. So if you have an account there, you might be able to get it, I think, but this has been like since last year that I've had this, or the year before maybe. And I don't know if you guys can see behind me, there's a sign back there, and that's my Halloween sign. I have to repair it, but that is it. And all of those little things have different cities where horror movies took place. So what one I don't have there is Camp Crystal Lake for some reason, but I do have Haddonfield, Elm Street, Derry, what else? Sleepy Hollow, Bates Motel, and Amityville. And that was a fun project I did a few years back. I like it a lot. So, and I think, if I am not mistaken, all those are probably, maybe with the exception of Derry, all of those are from 70s movies. But I mean, I don't know if it was a 70s movie. I think it was like maybe early 80s. Have you guys ever read that book or seen that movie, It? Bella? I'm going to have to put you out there. Bella doesn't like that I'm busy. She's like, no, I don't like it. I'm unhappy with that. Yes, everybody, I do not feed my dog ever. So I'm not sure why I have this other piece here. I may not have kept this last piece in the kit, but I have it here, so I'm going to do something with it, I guess. And so this, I actually needed to use this over here. And I think I am going to do that, because this one actually fits. No, maybe not. Okay. Forget it. Forget it. Yeah, I know, she's... Okay, oh, 1990. Oh, wow. So I'm going to have to be really careful about how I glue this, where I put the glue, because, or how much, because this card has to go inside of here. If it's just too frustrating when you're working on it, you know, just cut it down a little bit from the side. But I think in the file, I don't know that I made it any thinner. So, but I did end up applying the glue to the edges, and actually let me do this quick thing. I usually don't like doing this with scissors, but it's whatever. That is true. Bella is a princess, and she's also elderly. And so now I probably have to apply the glue again. A little bit more. Alright. And so I'm going to put this guy down here. Let's see if the card goes in pretty well. Yeah, it will. But I don't want to leave it in there while this is drying. Alright, so for this one, I'll go ahead and use this. This month's coupon, October 25, is good for any of the Halloween or autumn themed items in there in the shop. Alright, so that's pretty good. And then I think I'll put one of these on this one, and then I'll do something a little bit different here. No. Other way around. I know. Becky says, I have cats that tend to jump up on my desk when I'm crafting because I obviously ignore them. Not because you can't. They don't allow that. And they're not the best helpers. Yeah, they always want to find something like interesting to bat around. And hopefully that's not like the little pieces of your project. So for this one, I'm just going to glue this on to this white paper. And this is me pulling this color in. I just didn't want to make a background page because it's so much color, you know, and it would just be easier to just use a piece of paper and not, you know, use up your ink. getting everything nice and straight. Inking edges. And this guy can go here. So there we have those things. Scooch this stuff over. And I now have this little pocket piece right here. Oops, this one here. Oh, it's a pocket though. Okay, hang on. See what I mean, you guys? I'm going to actually pull the glue off of this and let it dry out for a bit. And it's almost dry now, so it won't be too long. So I just love this layout. It's a little sooty looking, huh? Sorry about that. Maybe I'll get another distress ink color. I don't know. I don't know if more ink is going to make it better or not. Honestly. And now I'm just going to do this 3 sides, not too much glue, and then we're going to put this guy down here. And the next part is, so I've cut these into little squares, right? So all I'm going to do to get the edges off, I really hate going around these with scissors, so I'm just going to do my best to cut along the edge with this hole punch from the Crocodile. Let's see. Oh, that one just didn't want to come off very well. We're going to ink the edges for anything that is not, that doesn't look perfect, right? All right. So got a ticket to a scary corn maze. Put that right in there for later. Ticket to a haunted house. Here. And a ticket to a spooky hayride. This one needs a little help here because there's a little bit of stuff hanging off. And those parts there. I mean, I've used up an hour and I've already done this, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and start. Once I do this part, so these are kind of, I think they're a little bit difficult. For ease, I just cut around them and inked it, but I don't really like the way that looks. And I really should have probably done a different shape here, but I didn't. So have fun fussy cutting, or just cut around it like this, you know, if you want to, and see if you like that. If you don't, you know, it might kind of suck to cut these, but just, you know, put on your favorite Halloween movie. And just go ahead and start cutting. Gotta get in there like this and just sort of turn this around with my left hand. Oops. I think they're called fussy cuts because they make us fussy when we're doing it. What do you guys think? So I watched some Halloween movies this past week, and I know this isn't going to be everybody's cup of tea, but it is what I watched. And I actually watched the 1962 version of Rosemary's Baby, and then the series. So there's that. And I can't remember if I watched anything else. But, you know, the series is like two movies, basically. And I like it because they're really, I liked the old one, the 1960s one, because I'm really partial to 60s and 70s movies. I liked it because there's really no blood or gore, and you don't really see anything. You know, it's just all, I think I heard somewhere that the guy who created that movie, which I can't remember his name, but you guys would know it. Yeah, Roman Polanski, wanted not to show a lot of stuff, a lot of like blood and gore or anything, or scary images, because he wanted to leave it up to our imagination. And I don't know about you, but my imagination can be much scarier than anything I see on a movie. So anyways, I'm not sure what I'm going to watch this week, and I can, if you like that kind of movie, I can recommend it to you. You know, but if you don't, you know, I get it. Sometimes that stuff can just be really heavy, you know, the subject matter. So anyways, it seems like I've watched something else though, but now I don't really remember. I did watch a Lifetime movie. Does anybody watch Lifetime movies out there? Because for some reason, you know, I feel like Lifetime movies they're usually about like a true crime story or something, you know. This one was about the girl that was abducted by her teacher. Do you guys remember that story? And so I really didn't know this story very well. I had just barely me too, Ezra. Yeah. Yeah. Ezra says, I still love a Lifetime movie. They're so bad, but they're fun. I agree. I agree. So, but yeah, I hadn't really known this story. So I'm learning a little bit about it. I'm less inclined to read about true crime anymore. I mean, because I know a lot of the stories, and so it's all, like old stories for me. But that sounds really like pretentious, huh? But I don't know. I hadn't been watching a whole lot of scary movies or anything, but once October rolls around, that's just the time to do it, to watch all those movies. Yeah. Isn't cable like super expensive? I think that when we finally turned off my dad's cable, he had been paying like $400 a month or something for like AT&T. All right. So I'm going to color this in a little bit because I actually messed up the color quite a bit with the scissors. So I'm going to feel free to do this. And what I do with this, I mean, you can glue it underneath if you want, but what I like to do is just take a scrap and just cut a really thin piece. This piece is not perfect, but whatever. It's fine. I don't always want to use a ruler, you guys. That's just kind of how it is. Yeah, Lifetime movies they're pretty fun. They're really kind of campy. But this one wasn't really. It was just, the acting was fine, and all that, But it just was not, it didn't feel like an old school Lifetime movie that I have watched in the past. Becky says, I get younger kids ask me how I can go without cable. I just reply, when I was growing up, we only had 4 channels. That's true. ABC, NBC, CBS, PBS, and I was the remote control. Spoken like a true 70s kid. It's true. I mean, we used to watch Channel 52, and I didn't even know I was watching anime when I was watching Speed Racer. Actually, let me do this first. So I'm going to cut off with the long scissors from about, let's see, here to here, and then I just have like a little piece with, okay. I'll just have a kind of a half piece, but maybe a little bit bigger than half. And I'm just going to butt this right up against here. And then I'm going to take this, and maybe I want to cut this a little thinner. Yeah, Speed Racer. So we used to watch a lot of cool movies like Godzilla and Gamera and all that stuff. All that stuff is I remember it all fondly, My brother and I would sit and watch Vincent Price movies on Saturdays and Sundays, Popeye cartoons. I think it was Saturdays was Elvira and Sundays was the dude that wore a hat like Popeye. I can't remember his name. Tim Haddon or something like that. And he used to show Popeye cartoons. And so that's what we used to do after we watched Saturday morning cartoons. Cartoons weren't always on all week long and at all times. In my day, we used to only be able to watch cartoons on Saturday mornings, so you know, you weren't going nowhere on Saturday morning. All right, so now I have built this, and it's really cute. I could have done better with the background, but it's fine. I'm going to ink the edges and just see if that helps a little bit. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But either way, let this be a lesson to you on what color you can choose or not choose, you know, for the background of this. Yeah, no kidding, nothing beat 70s cartoons. Scooby-Doo. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And there was really not any children's programming aside from that, you know. When I was a kid, they didn't have, like, you know, children's movies in the theaters, so, you know, we would just go, you know, and watch whatever my mom watched, you know. And a lot of times those things were really scary. And then sometimes they were just so boring. But, you know, that's just the way it was. It was just the time, I think, that, you know, kids were considered, you know, in a different way, you know, than they are today. All right, so there we go. And here's the other one, and I got 50 minutes left, so I'm going to go ahead and start looking through my stuff to see how I can embellish this. And, you know, some of the pieces and everything. So, I've got some stickers that might be really cool over here. I think those are the Alice in Wonderland ones. I'm just going to put a bunch of stickers. Oh, that's cute. I think I'll use that. And, let's see. I don't know. I don't think I have any that are like thinner, you know, than this. So I think I'm just going to play around, cut around this. Let me see. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do. Let me get some of my scraps here. Hi, Lynn. The supplies list for, oh, wait. Sometimes I get the two mixed up. Okay, so materials. These are not on Patreon. This one is actually in the Etsy shop, and Ezra can post a link for you, and you can get it over there. And don't forget to use this month's coupon code, which is October 25. You can get 25% off. All right, so this is kind of, you know, rounds out this gray color. It's kind of like a grayish green, and it still is autumn, still looks good. Hang on one second. All right. Sometimes I have to barricade the dog out there. And now my cat is like doing something, going behind my monitor. Okay, so anyways, I'm just going to use a few things that I have to embellish. And I think, do you hear this? It's my cat. She's behind the monitor and she's just like trying to step on a bunch of stuff. There's not much behind there, but she certainly has found it. Hello, Loki. Hello, kitty. Why don't you go on your windowsill? All right. I think we're all clear. Okay, so I'm going to add this here. And that's really super cute. And then I probably might want to add something there, but I don't really know what. For now, I'm going to be okay with it just as is. And let's see what else we got here. Yeah, she's not she's not yelling. Bella, on the other hand, is. So let me set this one aside. Oh, I keep forgetting to turn that off. Oh, I see. Yep. Thank you. All set now. And let me turn my volume down for my notifications. I always forget to turn them off, and then I always forget to turn them on. So these are some body part kind of stickers, and they might be a little too dark for this particular project, but I'm just going to keep it, you know, I want it to be lighthearted and cute and everything. But I'm going to look through some of my other stickers as well. Oh, yes. Oh, I know. I can pull out my fussy cuts. Yeah, Becky. Anybody that has cats, that sounds familiar. So, I'm going to pass by all these. I made this file, you guys, and it was just like, I don't know, 30 up of just ravens. And I've been wanting, I think I was watching like DJ's Hither and Yon Studio live stream a couple weeks ago, and I was like, why have I not made myself any ravens? So I might end up putting the SVG file into the shop. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure. Okay, so now here I've got like 10,000 ravens in there. So that just kind of comes off of there. I think I'll just use it on here maybe. Kind of as plain. Not sure about this still. Let's look at the fussy cuts a little bit more. Oh, owls. Owls are fun. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. What am I doing? What am I doing? Huh. Oh, I know. Words. Words, words, words. Okay. I also have some words. Yes. Yes, that is what it's like having animals. I have all these really cute little, I don't even know where I got these, but I have all these little fussy cuts that I can use that say things like black cat nail ointment or lotion of octopus, rattlesnake infusion. So they're kind of fun for eagle toes. So I need kind of an up and down sort of. So I'll try a couple on and see what I like. Bat wings, tarantula hair, squid ink. Oh, that's actually kind of cute. Hang on. We're going to put that one there for a minute. And compliments of the season. That's kind of cute. Don't really know if I have anywhere to put this, but I could probably just stick that in there. Or this. Do you mean, Becky says, I work from home, so mine have been known to change the format on my laptops. Yes. Yes. I don't know what I'm going to do with this crow. I want to use the raven. I want to use it, but I don't know what else to do with it. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Throw out your ideas. I have to put this one in here somewhere. Brain in brine, gluten-free. So there you go. I'm not sure. I'm not sure just yet. I'm still a-thinking. All right. Let's see. Oh, I'm dropping these all over. Some of these are similar to ones I've already seen. Oh. What if I do it sideways? But now that's not going to fit. Okay. Okay, okay. How about something like that, maybe? What do you guys think? I need some input. Not sure what I want to do yet. I'm going to work on the other one for a minute. And I think I won't probably use this. Probably we don't use this. I mean, I guess I'm going full Halloween, so that's just what is happening now. Or I can do these owls, and since I've got so much time, I have time to think about this. So, oh, wait a minute. A lot of these stamped ephemera we made in a Mega Make Monday a couple weeks ago. And those are really fun. That's why I have so much ephemera, is if I didn't sit and make a whole bunch of it, I wouldn't have it. I'd have weird stuff. But since I'm doing like big, massive amounts of things, I have so much ephemera. There's this. Maybe. Okay. All right then. So all of the things that I'm adding from here on out are things that are just from my stuff. Yours don't have to be, you know, if this isn't your thing, you know, they don't have to be like this with the more darker themes or whatever. You can absolutely do it with whatever lighter theme you would like. This is just what's in my thing, my stuff. So there we go. Everything's kind of odd sized, you know. I think I'm going to go with the switch. I don't know if this, can those go together? I don't know. You know what I think I might do? I might just put a whole bunch of these things on here. Just layered. And just see how that ends up looking. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do something a little different, because I'm finding that they're not things aren't quite coming together the way I want, so I am going to there we go. So I am going to get out some book pages from all of my scraps. I have this giant, this is what I work out of when I make my Mega Makes. And so I am going to just sort of not cut, but tear some of this paper. How's the weather everywhere where you guys are at? Our weather is like amazing right now. It's 76. We don't have all the excess noise from fans and as well as air conditioning units, and that's really nice. Let's set this aside. I'll just start building something interesting here. I actually really kind of want to use a page out of the Raven. I think that would be much, much cooler. So let me find, I've had this book for a while, and it's fun to have, you know, especially for projects like this. And maybe nobody would know. Do I have this still? Where's the Raven? Why is this not in here? So weird. Oh, the Raven is a poem. That's why, guys. And it looks like I already took those pages. Okay, that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and just quit being fussy about it and just start making a stack, basically. I don't know what they're called, but I just call them stacks. And that is when you layer different things onto the page. Let me see. Keep losing my guy here. I feel like it still needs something more. All right, all right, all right. Hey, have you guys ever made paper? Because I feel like I want to make paper one of these days. And I saw somebody do, I don't know who it was, but I'll tell you if I figure it out. But she made paper out of, one sec. Let's see if that's Ezra. Okay, nope. All right. So she made paper out of her toilet paper rolls or paper towel rolls, whatever. You know, that sort of. Oh, I was going to put these in here. Oh boy. So I think I want to do something like that soon, you know, and just make a few sheets of paper. But I saw her make them, and then she actually just made something like 12 pages or whatever, and made a little journal out of it. And I thought that was pretty cool. Oh, that's why that's like that. Okay. All right. Okay. I am going to start gluing this on. like there needs to be something else underneath this guy, but I think I'm getting there. I think I am getting there. Maybe I can find something in one of these. Yeah, I don't want to do that. What if I used something from one of these pages? I don't know if I want to use that color. Maybe I think this purple will look pretty good. And so what I'm going to do is pull off a piece. Going to see what happens if I do this. And maybe I'm going to hate it, but let me just look. Oh, that's actually too big. Oh. Okay. Okay, I hate it. So I could save it for something else. It just doesn't look right, I don't think. Or maybe this might. I think I'm getting somewhere, but I'm not sure. I think that's not going to work. No. You guys, I am really trying here. Okay, I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go ahead and glue this guy down, and then I'm just going to add a little swatch of material, just because I'm spending a lot of time looking for stuff, and I don't know. It's how I usually craft, but it's not really the best thing for live stream. So I'm going to grab something like this, and that's going to pull this color into this. So that actually works best. And all of these little things that I have are just, they came from like scarves of my mother's, you know, and so I ripped them all like into swatches, long swatches, and anything that was little, like the seams and stuff, I used pretty much everything on it. I would make little things like this, and that's why I have a whole crap ton of these. A lot of these are like my mom's clothes. And so I like that, and by no means have I used a lot or all of my mom's clothes for that. I mean, my mom had so many. She was, there's no way I could even use them all ever. But they've gone to charity, they've gone to college students, they've gone to lots of other different people, and some of it I brought home, and I'm using it. And now you know what I do while I'm watching the movies that I'm watching and stuff. Hey Holly, how you doing? We're making this layout, and this is one that went into the folder. It was one of the projects from last year in the Patreon, but it's been revamped with some new color, something a little more color coordinated, and I think that did you ever get this project? If you did, or even if you're just in the Dragonflies, you will get this project free. I'm going to go drop the PDF file a little bit later into that folder. And you can grab the updated version since you already have the other version. All right, so here's that. And yeah, I wanted to use the witch for this. Let me see. You're welcome. You're welcome. That's probably what's going to happen whenever I update one of the projects from last year. I usually wait about a year before I release them, or longer, before I'm releasing them to the public. All of these have been exclusive projects, and so now they're going to be able to see. You guys are going to be able to meet the projects. And as that happens, any updated projects are going to be made available to whoever received it, in the first place. So sometimes it will be, well, mostly it'll be Dragonflies, I think. I don't like that. I think I actually like that a little better. So, since I'm doing this today, I'm doing the embellishment part because it didn't take very long to create. I'm going to be doing something different on Friday, and it will probably have to do with the goodie that I give you guys, which I'll be releasing this week. I think that looks good. Everything doesn't have to have a bow, right? So, yeah, I think that's the way it's going to be. I almost feel like the straight edges just really are not. This might have been the one to use for the raven, but anyway, whatever. It's okay to wish you had done something differently. Often what happens when I wish I'd done something differently, I end up really liking it anyway. So it's all good. I don't think I want to use another raven, but I think I'll use something different. I don't know. Here I am in this thing again. Don't really want anything really huge. I mean, it really looks like it needs something. What does it need? Oh, I know what it needs. Guys, I don't know if this will actually work out very well, but I'm going to try it anyway. Because that's what crafting is. It's just trying stuff, right? Anybody else who wants to grab this kit, you can. It's in the Etsy shop right now. And don't forget to use October 25 coupon code, which is good for it's good for anything like autumn and Halloween themed. So wow, you guys, this goes so fast. Yeah, thank you, Ezra. I'll show you really quick what oh, that's an idea. Okay, let's do this. I put it on the back of a stiff piece of cardstock, and I'm going to put some of these. It may come back and bite me in the butt that I'm putting like raised mounting tape on the back, but you know, I gotta try stuff. So let's put one more in the center here. I think this will probably be the last thing I do on here. I didn't embellish anything over here, but you're getting the idea, right? I'm just using little things to embellish it. And if I were to leave it just as is after I finish this one, then it would still be fine. It would be great. Okay. Oops. I don't want to cover up Mr. Poe. And so I'm going to put that in here. And those are just some of the ways that you can embellish. I can embellish these too, but I don't have enough time. And you guys kind of saw the process and the kinds of things I was using. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. And so I am going to be probably working on something like these little pockets, book page pockets, journal cards, and I will be giving out a sheet of these mid-century Ooky little guys. If you want to use them, they're super cute. They're not scary. If you don't want to use the scary ones, you can always use the, you know, just the regular ones or whatever. And we'll make like little pockets and all kinds of little embellishments to go along with, or to add these pictures to. So anyway, again, I want to thank my patrons, and let's see. I want to thank my patrons, specifically the wildflowers, but really everybody. And I just thank you guys for making a place for us here in your life and in your days. It's really great to have a nice community to just chill with, and you guys definitely are that. So this is something that I'm going to eventually put into here, you know, maybe like that, but I'm going to make more of a signature out of it, so it looks pretty cute. Anyway, let's see what else. If you want to get this kit, you can go to the Etsy shop. Ezra's been dropping that link for a couple times already. You can go to Patreon, what is it? Patreon.com/junkjournalboss, and you can join for free if you want to, and you can get, you know, this will be the goodie alert for this month, these little guys, and then I'll do Friday, I'll work with those. And if you join on one of the tiers, you will be able to get this month's project. It's not this. And even if you had previously been, or you want to join, you want to get this for free, plus the other project, plus the 4 Mega Make Mondays, if you join the highest tier, you will get all of those things, plus you'll actually get this free. So, anyway, I think that's what I've got. Am I forgetting anything, Ezra? Oh, if you guys are on Facebook, I made a Facebook page on, just called Junk Journal Boss. It's not the old group that I had, but it is just a Facebook page, and I'm going to be starting to post there a little bit more regularly, so that I can tell you guys, since it seems like the generation of people that you know follow me are people that largely use YouTube and Facebook. So I wanted to have a presence over there so that I can let people know what's going on in an easy way, and then those who prefer you know, Discord and all that can also use Discord. If you guys will please like and subscribe, I would be really, really appreciative of that. That's a great way to support us. And it will also help if you guys watch our videos, because we're trying to get our what you want to call it, our watch hours up right now, so that we can bring even more, you know, options for fun things to the channel. So anyways, I appreciate you guys, and oh, I haven't even seen it. So thank you so much for all of you guys that have liked this channel, and or liked this video and subscribed to the channel. Turn on all your notifications. Yeah, turn on to all notifications if you want to know whenever I am going to be online. Customarily what I do. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I thought I changed that. You know, I wanted to make it a little bit more, you know, inclusive of, you know, of Ezra. And if it's just like my name, Junk Journal Boss, you know, it's kind of, I don't know, it seems like everything's just me, and it's not. Ezra helps a lot with this business. So anyways, I think that is it. Awesome. Let's see. Nice. Okay, cool. All right. So I think that's all I've got. If I haven't forgotten anything else, yeah, thank you, Becky. I appreciate that. My name's Christy Stone. I am here every Wednesday and Friday. Wednesdays at 11 to 1 p.m. Fridays 5 to 7 p.m. And those times are all Pacific. And yeah, don't forget to go join the Patreon and get the free item, which I'll be releasing today. Okay? All right, see you guys over there. Bye.